Hi guys, my name is Marie and welcome to my Kawaii world. So in this video I thought I would talk about some of my monthly favorites. These are things that I've been loving lately and also just some general updates. So I'm going to start with my favorite snacks, and lately I've been loving these garlic baguette sun chips, and they're really super buttery and garlicky. Actually not super buttery, but just kind of garlicky and sweet, and they're just so good. I've always loved sun chips. Another one that I like are the hot and spicy sun chips, but lately I've really been munching on these a lot. I've been liking meringues, but meringues that are attached to something savory. So at this place called Fill and Bake in Hannam-dong, they have these meringues that are sandwiched between two Ritz crackers, and they're really good. And I've also seen them attached to pretzels, and those are also really good because you get the sweet and salty flavor together. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And finally, for foods, I've been really into the Taiwanese black sugar boba drinks, and the most popular one here in Seoul is Tiger Sugar, and they use like a really thick whipped cream, and then they put in like tapioca pearls, both large ones and small ones, and then they add this dark brown sweet gooey thick black sugar syrup, and it's so decadent and sweet, but it's really good. I think that it's trending in Seoul because Tiger Sugar shops have been popping up everywhere, so you should be able to find one if you come here. So for beauty, I've been loving this Tree hyaluronic acid toner, and I have a lot of different toners and essences, but I've been reaching for this one every day lately because it's just so gentle and hydrating. It's a really thick and viscous liquid, and when you put it on your face it just feels so moisturized and hydrated. And I feel like even though sometimes you put on more than one layer of toner or essence, you really only need one layer of this because it's just so thick and effective. I recently indulged in a facial at the Shangri Spa, and I was deciding between Seowa Su and Shangri. They're both in Apgujeong Rodeo, and they're both high-end spas where you can get a facial and a massage. But I wanted to get a facial because I heard that they're really good in Korea, and so I decided to go to Shangri. And I went to the Seowa Su one just to check it out, and it was like a really big building. Seowa Su is owned by the Amore Pacific Group, so it was like really big and fancy. You've probably seen photos on Instagram of people there where there's this gold cage and lights in the background. It's really pretty. So it's like a 3-story building, and when I went in, this lady was following me around trying to help me, which was nice, but I just wanted to kind of look around and get a feel for the place. When I read some reviews about Seowa Su's facial online, they weren't all that positive, and I also didn't really like how they segregated men's treatment and made the price a lot lower, whereas treatment for women ranges from 150,000 to 600,000 won, which is up to $600. So I decided to go to the Shangri Spa. I ended up getting the S Energy treatment, which was about 130,000 Korean won, or about $108 US, and I think it lasted for an hour maybe. They did a lot of different masks and massage techniques, and they use this really gentle tool to remove sebum. This is where they're putting on the final mask, which is like a gold moisturizing mask. I was not allowed to film the other parts of the facial because they said that the massage techniques were proprietary. I came away feeling just really refreshed, and my skin looked really good. I felt like it was so well exfoliated. All those little pieces of dead skin that are always hanging onto my face were gone. The effect lasted for maybe about a week, and then I was just back to my normal self. But it was definitely a fun indulgence, and I highly recommend it if you are in Seoul. For kids, I have a few recommendations. My kids have been using these Korean crayons, and I've been getting them for other people as well, like my niece and nephew. They're really good because they are in this plastic casing and they don't break, and you could just twist it out and more of the crayon comes out. And I previously bought the Crayola version when I was living in Japan, but they're not as pigmented, they're a lot smaller, they're a lot more waxy. The Korean crayons are just really good. Also, I've been loving Korean hair accessories and jewelry for kids. My kids and I went to the accessories and beads district in Dongdaemun, and if you want to see how to get there, I'll link my Dongdaemun video right here. But we just went nuts there. We bought so many beads, and like I love buying little hair clips and just gluing them together myself. Korean kids hair accessories are super cute, they're really nice, and they're pretty unique too, and they're kind of like funky and cool. Also, when we were at Dongdaemun, we went to Dongdaemun Design Plaza, and my husband, for some reason, is really into getting caricatures done, and we got one done of our family in Incheon, but it was really not cute. And so we decided to get one done of just the kids, and we found this artist at Dongdaemun Design Plaza, and she did such a good job. The drawing that she did really looks like my girls. It looks so cute, and it's so true to like their facial features. She did a great job. As far as movies go, my kids are obsessed with The Sound of Music. They've been going through the songs one by one and like wanting to hear them on repeat over and over and over again. Also, I recently showed my kids Kiki's Delivery Service. I had never seen it before, but it was surprisingly like such a good movie for kids. There weren't any super scary or violent parts. It was just like overall a nice and pleasant movie, and my kids really enjoyed it. A couple of months ago, I took a trip to Hawaii for my brother's wedding, and I just have a few Maui recommendations. I'm no expert on Hawaii. I was only there for 2 days. I basically spent 2 days in the airplane and then 2 days in Hawaii because I was going by myself, and I was nervous to leave my kids with just my husband and in-laws. And so I made it a really quick trip, but I did some really cool stuff while I was there. I went to this store called Beach Peoples, I think, and they had some really cute stuff. The condo that we stayed in was amazing. It was called Wailea Alua Village, and my sister rented it for everyone in our family. And it was just like a 3-bedroom condo, and it was like staying in a house. It was so much better than staying in a hotel. It was right on the beach. They had a pool right there. It was just perfect for families, and I think if I went back to Maui with my family, I would definitely stay there. Also, we found this really amazing shaved ice place called Uluani's, and they just made a really like super soft, good Hawaiian shaved ice. I also discovered Foodland. It was my first time in Hawaii, so I was discovering all these new things. So at Foodland, I got these insulated, reusable grocery bags, and I think that they're really great because right now it's really hot, so when we buy groceries at the store, we'll just put them in this bag and they'll stay like sort of insulated on the way home, and I think that they're a really great souvenir from Hawaii. Also, I got a bag of 100% Kona Coffee, and I didn't know what the big deal was about Kona Coffee, but apparently it's really rare and it's really good. I'm cutting back on coffee, but I do like drink it a little bit occasionally, and I really like this Kona Coffee. We've had it for about 2 months now, but it still tastes really good when I make it with my Kalita whey. So as you guys might know, we recently moved to another apartment outside of Seoul, and the cool thing about our move was that they brought everything up through the window. I've been spending the last 2 or 3 weeks just trying to get everything unpacked and organized, and we're in a rental. We're not going to be here forever, so I'm having a hard time with like decor, and I'm having a really hard time with the kids' rooms. I want to make it a fun space for them, but then I just feel like what's the point, because it's always going to be a mess. Like, we'll clean up one day, everyone will help clean up, and then like at the end of the day, it'll just look like there was an explosion in their room. Like, there's just toys everywhere. Sienna's pretty good about picking up her stuff, but Valentina's still learning, and it's messy. When I just had Sienna, I had a much easier time making my house look nice and keeping everything pretty, but with 2 kids, I'm not always there hovering over them, and then the room just looks like a total disaster. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you have any tips for like home decor with my 3 and a 6-year-old? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe I just need a better way to organize our toys. I'm not really sure. The last thing is Taiwan. We're planning a trip to Taiwan in November, and I'm really excited about it. In preparation, I read this book called Green Island, which is a really good book. I wanted to kind of learn about the history of Taiwan and kind of understand the cultural background before I went to visit, and this book was really good for that, and it was just one of those books that I couldn't put down. I highly recommend it if you guys are looking for a good book to read, but it's not really a light read. There's some violence in there and some really heavy topics, but it's really good. Also, I've been learning about credit card points, because when we go to Taiwan, we are not paying for our hotels. We're just using our Marriott credit points This is not sponsored, but if you guys are interested in getting this card, then you can help me out by using the link in the description box below. I will earn extra points towards my next hotel stay. And I've been watching this channel called Ask Sebi, and it's this guy who talks about like how to use credit card points, how to maximize points. I feel like this is something I should have known about when I graduated from college and I was into traveling, and I went like on an international trip every year. I did a lot of traveling, but I didn't know about credit card points. I was just paying for it out of pocket, and I didn't know like I could accumulate all my miles and really get something out of it. So for any of you who are into traveling, then you might want to look into like using credit cards, but you have to make sure you pay them off every month. It's just like a way of travel hacking using credit card points. Now that I have a family of 4, it's a little bit harder to like get free flights and things like that, but I think if you're single, you have a better chance of accumulating enough points to be able to fly like business class or at least get a free economy flight. And you know, I'm kind of getting back into travel now. After I had my kids, I just felt like I don't want to go anywhere. I'm happy with my daily routine. There's just so much joy like staying at home with my kids and not having to like take them on an airplane. And I had to do that anyway because we were moving to Japan and then Korea, so like those long haul flights were plenty for me, and I didn't really have a desire to do a lot of travel. But now that my kids are getting a little bit older, I still feel like Valentina is a little bit on the young side. She's 3 and we still have to carry her everywhere. I think when she turns 5, it'll be the ideal age to travel a little bit more. So I'm getting a lot more into that. And like one thing I found that I should have done was create a frequent flyer number for my kids so that they could have started accumulating miles like when we were doing all that travel between the US and Japan to Korea and that type of thing. So I just recently created a United frequent flyer account for each of my kids, and so if you guys are going to be traveling with your kids, definitely create an account for them. It's so easy to overlook, but it's something that I think will benefit them in the long run, and maybe you as well, because you can all get a free flight together. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a lot more learning and reading about travel hacking because I'm really into that lately. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Everything's okay.